Welcome to another episode of Mahyar, naming and shaming the people in the establishment, those who take advantage of taxpayers' money, those who claim to be impartial and independent, yet at the same time they have their own agenda, political agenda, and biases. Let's talk about the OBR, the Office for Budget Responsibility. All thanks to George Osborne and David Cameron for the creation of this monster that has been allegedly credible, apparently. But over the years, it's getting worse and worse. It's now being controlled and dominated by the political left with their own agenda and vested interests. Now they've hired a new person, and in this video, we're going to be exposing them. Have fun with this. Get your popcorns. Okay, first things first. Rita della Feria. She's the new member of the OBR. According to her Twitter, she is a law professor and a chair in tax law. Okay, she's a fellow at Oxford Tax Advisory Panel on OBR now, and she likes tax, she likes law and policy. Cool, nothing wrong with it so far. Well done, congrats Rita on your new job. But thanks to Boris Guido, we've discovered some new stuff about these guys, and I'm going to also talk about the other members of the OBR, because it's not just about Rita, it's about those who are running the whole organization. So, is Rita, because the OBR, for those who don't know, is part of the government, but it's a non-governmental department. It was set up by George Osborne and David Cameron, the new version, basically, and a new model. And essentially, they are a quango. Essentially, they are an independent body, but they are funded by His Majesty's Treasury, Jeremy Hunt, which uses taxpayers' money. They don't have their own money. So, Rita is anti-Brexit. Rita is anti-Trump. Rita is pro-Jeremy Corbyn, and she loves high taxes. These guys sit there, have meetings at the OBR, and they do their own economic forecasts, and they do their advisory stuff, and they come up with ideas for the country. So if you have someone who's a socialist, who's anti-Brexit, loves the EU, loves high taxes, what do you expect them to tell Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor on a regular basis? Do you think they're going to tell the truth? Do you think they have our interests at heart or their own political agenda? These are the questions you have to ask. Now, Rita has recently had a successful campaign in Uzbekistan. She tweeted, "There's some fairly big news to share. Uzbekistan has introduced a progressive VAT following the approach suggested by Arthur Sweetstack and myself in our official paper." So she did this research and she came up with an idea, and she told Uzbekistan to basically put VAT on every single item that they sell in the country. And they call it a progressive VAT. So everything will have a tax on, extra tax on top of everything else you're already paying. And these people are now here in our country telling us what to do. So they're not officially advising Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor on a regular basis. They have their own advisors in the Treasury, but they're all linked. This is the problem. Now, let's talk about Richard Hughes, who's in charge. Richard Hughes, in terms of OBR, he's also a Remainer. He attacked no-deal Brexit. He said Brexit is worse for the economy than a virus in 2020. So these are the people, all these economic forecasts and reports that we get from these organizations, and every now and then they say, well, Brexit has caused harm, or this happened, and the economy is going down. It's all because of Brexit. It's because of their political views. We know that the lockdown did more harm than anything else in recent times. But because they don't want us to see that image, they paint their own image. They give it to the mainstream media, the likes of the BBC and Sky News. They become the mouthpiece of the establishment, and with the illusion of credibility and authority, so you can't question it. If you question it, they say, are you questioning experts? It's not right. These are the experts. They have wisdom. This is the problem. Now, that was Richard Hughes. Let's talk about the next one. Laura Gardner. Laura Gardner supports UBI, Universal Basic Income. Yeah, another socialist project proposed by the World Economic Forum in Davos. She attacked austerity or basic good housekeeping in terms of budget management. She's worked for the Living Wage Foundation, so obviously she has her own socialist tendencies. And they want us to believe that these people are absolutely independent and impartial. Yeah, I believe you. Absolutely. Now, speaking of independence, the Bank of England have lost their mind as well. So it's not just about the OBR, it's not just about the Treasury. The Bank of England have gone wokey woke. So we have a massive inflation to deal with. Monetarism needs to be sorted out. But the Bank of England are now talking about how anybody could get pregnant. Anyone, regardless of your gender. Apparently, this is the issue of the day that needs to be addressed by the Bank of England. This is the focus of the Bank of England. What is happening in our country? Why? We keep saying go woke, go broke, but at this time, I think they went broke before they went woke. Because they went broke, they went woke. And now we are also having problems with the banking sector in general. Nigel Farage, the cancellation of Nigel Farage continues to escalate, which is the next topic of the channel today. I'm going to come back in half an hour with more updates on the latest situation with Nigel Farage and his bank and all the other banks that have rejected him because he's politically imposed person or whatever he is. And this situation is not helping because the BBC are getting involved. And the BBC are subtly becoming the mouthpiece again of the banking establishment. Yeah, make sure to tune in half an hour. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.